Of course, the last couple of days, legend for the EPL and obviously playing with Barcelona. He's now retired. Yes, he's had heart problems in the past, but he is one of a long list of people now that are having similar issues as well. We've seen, I think, about 4 in the past month who've had similar issues too. Now, we've also been assured that almost all adverse events have been minor in nature, at least according to Pfizer's documentation. But does the data that you've analysed paint a bit of a different picture from this report?
Yes, it does, because I would say a significant portion of cases are classified as serious cases. And a serious case is one that results in either hospitalization or a life-threatening consequence, like death. So, and you've got a significant portion, like I said, when you look at all these different categories of adverse events that fall into the serious, that have high proportion of serious cases, especially in general. There's a category they call general disorders, and that's got a very high percentage of serious cases. So again, these aren't minor. It's very alarming. But then, what is, I say, is shocking is that on the FDA's website, those sort of like the documents or the leaflet that you would get, in order to sort of make an informed consent, like let's look at all the risks. But on their website, you have a fraction of these adverse events being listed, side effects, and this is what's really alarming.
Well, Sonia, just before I let you go, what's the conclusion that you've drawn from this initial release of information, and what would be your message to those who still haven't received a vaccination? Should they consider the Pfizer vaccine?
So I'm pro-choice. It's up to the individual to make up, to do their own research and make their decision. But what I'm really angry about is that there is no informed consent going on, because the general public do not know the whole list of side effects that they can get from taking this experimental mRNA-based vaccine. And especially for the younger age cohorts, where the risks of taking this vaccine overwhelmingly outweigh the benefits. And we're talking about COVID, or this virus, which has an infection mortality rate, if you're under 70, of less than 0.5% risk of dying. So I just think the risks of taking this vaccine really outweigh any benefit.
Sonia, thank you so much for your time. We've obviously spoken to various points about the report you've put together. If people want to look at the entirety of the document, though, that you've compiled, how can they do that?
So they can go on to Trial Site News and they can search my name, Sonia Elijah, and the article will come up. And I recommend your viewers to subscribe to Trial Site News for very transparent, clinical news that's going on. So it's a great site to get for information, and I think people are really hungry for knowing what's really going on.
I think you're 100% right. And just finally, where can we follow you on Twitter and all our social media feeds?
So people can follow me on Twitter at Sonia_Elijah, and like I said, I write for the Trial Site News, and I also have brand new channels on Brand YouTube and BitChute, and where I do a lot of interviews as well.
Wonderful. Sonia, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your work in uncovering more of this information.
Thank you so much, James, for having me on. Thank you.
That's Sonia Elijah, investigative journalist for Trial Site News. And if you missed any part of that conversation, you can catch the whole chat on our YouTube channel, Cowkine Media. So, of course, don't forget to subscribe. I'm James Preston, signing off for now.